get up, get up, get up.
Whew. Wow. All right. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Mets Up Podcast, the official podcast of the New York Mets. This episode looks drastically different after what we just saw for the last few innings of that Game 3 between the New York Mets and the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, I was ready to come into this episode starting off with a groan, a moan, a disgruntled sound.
I was upset.
It was not a great start. It was not looking good, but luckily, Hunter Strickland, ninth inning Mets, almost midnight Mets. It was a long game, a very long game. They came back and they won, and we're feeling great. We're buzzing. It completely did a 180, 360?
180. 360 would be the same spot.
Okay, yeah, we did a 180, and we're feeling great because, boy, oh boy, this could have been a disaster of a loss. But luckily, we don't have to talk about a disaster of a loss because the Mets win. They win the series, as they seemingly do all year long. They win Game 1, they lose Game 2, they win Game 3. Of course, we're going to talk about everything that happened in this series, as well as a little bit of our 4th of July activities, because we have some fun things to talk about in our personal life that I'm sure you guys would love to hear us talk about, as well as maybe mention some trades as well. So if you guys are not yet following us on our social media, at MetsUp everywhere. If you're looking for the YouTube video version of this, check out the New York Mets YouTube channel, the official channel, not MetsUp, the Mets channel. If you want to see the video version, if you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Odyssey, wherever you listen, drop us a follow, a rating, a review. It really does help us out. And I mean, I already brought you in, but how are we feeling after this game? Because I'm feeling so much better.
Significantly better. This was going to be one of those episodes where we're going to have to tell people to not be really upset and not be really, really scared of what was to come. But
when it was a really easy game to get upset. And like
easy series too.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say this game would have been a disaster to lose because the way it was going and the way you were going into it, like it wasn't like a lopsided pitching matchup or anything. Just the way they lost on Tuesday that would have led into the way you could have possibly lost this game on Wednesday would have been extremely frustrating with just ground balls and not getting a clutch hit. But put that behind us.
Yeah, no, put it behind us. We won Game 3. I mean, we normally go in order, but I want to just jump into Game 3 real quick because we're hot. It's hot 100%. On the mind. And the Mets, we had David Peterson on the mound, who just came back from Colorado because David Peterson's wife finally had her baby, a healthy baby boy.
Finally.
So happy for the Peterson family. I'm sure she's relieved as well that she's no longer pregnant.
Absolutely, and just got the ordeal over with.
Yeah, what was it, like 3 weeks of labor, it seemed
I think it was one actual week of labor.
Which has got to be awful. I'm glad we never have to deal with that.
Nothing I can even respond to about that.
That's true. And David Peterson, who's someone we've been really high on, started off the game kind of well, and then kind of got a little bit cold. It was a little bit of a shaky start for David Peterson.
Well, Lish, also the Mets got on the board first in this game. It feels like a lifetime ago when this game began. It's 6:40. It's 10:40 when we're starting to record this.
It was a 4-hour marathon of a game.
It feels like also Mets haven't scored one of these patented first inning runs in a very long time. Even as much as Brandon Mostar Marte have gotten on base, Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor. John made a joke. He said the game flew in our chat, which is not true because he made this joke a couple days ago, and he slows down every single game. And he's the one who's trying to get to bed. And he's cracking jokes, extending the recording. But we haven't had as much success driving in runs with the middle of our order with Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso kind of slowing down their run-producing pace over the last few weeks. Yeah. But Pete had a big 2-out single to keep this first inning going, and Jeff McNeil, like he's done so many times this year, had a very big 2-out first inning RBI. So we're up 1-0. Peterson comes to the mound. It's like just right away, it felt not as good as the last few Peterson starts where he had, I think, 18 strikeouts and 0 walks over his last 2 games started. He hit Jonathan India with a back foot slider, literally hit India's back foot first batter of the game with 2 strikes. And that's just how that Brewers game started. Remember about a month ago we were there, Ernesto's birthday, biggest Jonathan VR fan in the world. And he got a big double play to get out of that inning, and Peterson did do a good job in this game with so many base runners allowed, not really letting anything snowball, but the command was just very simply not there. Maybe it was the traveling back and forth to Colorado, the changing of altitudes. Mark has a theory that he's going to share right now.
Yeah, it looked like David Peterson maybe puked. I don't know. He at one point put a fluid in his mouth, it seemed like, and sprinted into the clubhouse. As soon as it got in there, he sprinted in, came back out relatively quickly, which makes me think he either had a flu game or he puked. Maybe he just had to chuck a little bit, and then he started to maybe feel a little bit better. But the game kind of almost felt like it got shaky after he puked.
It was just, I think the whole thing was kind of shaky. Like, there were tons of walks. He walked every single Reds batter 5 through 9 in the order, including their number 9 hitter, Michael Papierski, twice.
And Albert Almora once, who Albert Almora coming into this game had, I believe, a 1.8 walk
it was
rate.
2.8.
2.8. Well, incredibly low. That's like, what, 1 or 2 walks on the year?
Probably.
Peterson didn't particularly have it, but that being said, he was good enough.
Kind of, yeah, but also he walked Matt Reynolds. Like, if there's anyone worse in baseball to walk than Albert Almora, it's Matt Reynolds. He walked Reynolds before Nick Senzel. Nice little home run out to left field, just swinging the bat pretty well. But he just had some good defense behind him. I mentioned the double play in the first inning. Yorme made a nice play. He almost was so bold and ambitious that as he stepped on the bag, it was right after India got hit on the foot, and he was a little gimpy. He almost snapped through the third, but that would have been a little nuts. Nido bailed him out in the 4th inning with a back pick of Senzel, who was at second, which was a ridiculous play. Not many catchers in baseball do that. Also, the inning after Nido tried his patented knee throw, made a bad throw when Brand Drury was dead to rights on a hit and run that wasn't executed by Tommy Pham, and you could have gotten out of that inning with no runs, but got us back. And you also had RBI in between there, too.
Yeah, no, Nido had a nice little game.
Yeah.
The throws have always been money. The knee throw, maybe not on every single throw. Maybe when it's only necessary, but hey, it happens. We still have Tomas Nido behind the plate. Catchers actually kind of made an impact in this game.
Massive impact.
We'll
get to that. But
we'll get to that in a second.
Wrap up Peterson. Even with 5 walks in less than 4 innings, he still had 7 strikeouts and 12 whiffs, 6 with his 4-seam fastball, 5 with his slider. This was the return of Peterson's changeup. He threw it almost 20% of the time. Not that many whiffs with it, though. Not super effective. And he only actually allowed 4 hits, hilariously. And all 4 were on his 4-seam fastball. So I think we're kind of in an amazing spot where David Peterson has a bad start and we can complain about it. You know what I mean? Like, we expect so much better from Peterson now that he can do something awful like this. I mean, it was awful in terms of like 5 walks in less than 4 innings, but still like limit damage, not letting anything spiral like we've seen Dave Peterson do in the past when he was a little bit less experienced, less developed. He did enough along with the Mets bullpen to actually keep us in this game.
Yeah, Adonis Medina. How many times have we talked about him stepping up in a game where he kind of needs to clean up? Adonis Medina. I mean, we've talked about this guy multiple times now on the podcast, but it feels like every time he comes in, he just does a really nice job of keeping the game close. He got up to like 49, 50 pitches today, which I thought was a little bit surprising. He's never going to do anything that makes you go, wow, Adonis Medina, like this guy is the next great things in sliced bread. But
good breaking ball.
He's good breaking ball, and he gets the job done for us. And again, kept the game close, which is exactly what the Mets needed because we really were playing better offensively, sort of, kind of. We had, 8 hits in the first 5 innings?
Well, I want to spend a little time, 2 minutes, talking about Graham Ashcraft because
of course you do.
The guy's a unicorn. It's ridiculous watching him pitch. He's so different than most other pitchers in baseball, all because he just basically only throws cutters and sinkers. 60% cutters in this one. I think like 25% sinkers with a few breaking balls, off-speed pitches mixed in, but that cutter especially, he just throws it nonstop, and you make contact with incessantly. He had no walks and 1 strikeout. The Mets put 26 balls in play in this game, and they couldn't even get close to scratching anything out against him, it felt like.
Yeah, I just, watching Graham Ashcraft, his name feels like it should be Grant Ashcraft.
You could take it up with the Ashcrafts.
Yeah, I'll take it up with the Ashcraft family. But watching him pitch and the way that the Mets were like sort of, kind of ish hitting him, but not really for any sort of authority or power, I was so frustrated. I was murmuring to myself while we were watching this game, Graham Ashcraft, like every couple pitches, just because, I know you say he has the stuff, but watching
I don't say
him,
he has the stuff. I'm just saying he's not bad. It's all because of this cutter itself is a unicorn. It's like very ordinary in terms of like movement and like its approach angle, like the angle which it comes out of his hand towards the batter. That's your vertical approach angle. But it sits like between 95 and 100, which is something with a lot of movement. So that's something. And like coming into the start on the year in a small sample, he hasn't pitched that much in the majors, but 85 batted balls against this cutter. A lot of pitches thrown. 58% ground ball rate, which is exorbitantly high. Would be one of the highest in Major League Baseball for a whole pitcher set. Average launch angle. I don't like average launch angle because it pop-ups like send it really high, which is kind of dumb when you look at that. And like people talk about launch angle. But the average launch angle on Graham Ashcraft's cutter heading into the game was below 0.
Yeah, so no one hits in the air.
So not even just ground balls. Like balls are worm killers right away, right off the bat. And even when people do lift the ball in Graham Ashcraft's cutter, heading into this game, had only an 84% exit velocity on fly balls and line drives.
Where else are you going to get a deep dive on Graham Ashcraft? I don't even know if a Reds podcast will give you a deep dive on Graham Ashcraft.
Maybe like a really niche one.
Yeah, maybe a very niche one. I mean, you just saw it with the game. The Mets just didn't hit him particularly hard.
But you made so much contact. They had 9 hard hit balls off Ashcraft, and just they were just all on the ground. We had 26 balls in play because, like I said, 1 strikeout, no walks, 13 ground balls, so half our balls in play were ground balls, and 6 were pop-ups.
To be fair, though, well, I guess that wasn't technically against Graham Ashcraft now that I'm thinking about it, but the biggest ground ball of this game was the one that came off of Starling Marte's bat late in this game, which was not even a fair ball, it looks like. It looked like that ball might have been 6 to 7 inches foul.
You're not an umpire.
I wasn't there.
You can't make a call.
I wasn't there. We know Angel Hernandez was at second base, so he actually didn't even make this call. But the third base umpire, he saw it fair. Ball don't lie. That's what I'll say. Ball don't lie. Mets win this game, so I really don't think that call... He actually made the right call by ball don't lie rules.
Yeah, and credit to Brandon Nimmo for getting on base with a big single before that after getting a brutal strike call.
Yeah.
Home plate umpire was all over the place all night on Wednesday.
The whole umpiring the series was a little bit all over the place.
I mean, it's Angel Hernandez's crew.
Yeah, and there was a couple rookie umpires as well. Which I'm like, how do you pair Angel Hernandez and rookie umpires together? Something doesn't add up there.
Yeah, and then we tied it up in the ninth after Adam Ottavino. Afterwards, Adam Ottavino pitched a clean bottom of the inning. He's been incredibly good, along with the rest of the Mets bullpen barrage tonight.
Awesome.
Also, shout out Colin Holderman. He threw a scoreless inning in between there. Still keep this game at 1 run, even though I don't remember if it was him.
No, it was him.
That was him, right?
It was him who gave up a scary ball. SNY cameraman really didn't help us out there. My heart sunk. I was like, oh my God, no. And Jeff McNeil made a really nice catch in left field.
Yeah, nice. I think he even also misjudged it.
Maybe a little bit.
He took a step too far back, jumped, and kind of reached out, but yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, but every time a ball gets hit in the air in Cincinnati, I think I have like PTSD from the bouncy ball year.
The game last year.
Well, the game last year, but especially the bouncy ball year where it was like every single time the ball got hit in the air there, you're like, oh, that's a home run. It was gone.
I had this weird conversation. We were actually having this conversation yesterday with our council. We celebrated this wonderful Mets deal that we have, but people kind of forget that before the Reds had that little hot streak after the bouncy ball year when they had 2020, when they had a very good team, the season got short, and then they just couldn't score against the Braves for 3 games. They let Kevin Gausman walk before that season.
Oh, yeah.
So they could have had a rotation in 2020 with Kevin Gausman, Trevor Bauer, Luis Castillo.
Yeah, they could have.
And Sonny Gray, I believe.
I'm glad they don't.
Isn't that crazy? Think about that, looking back. Like, that was a team that could have won a World Series. But I digress, because this team's not going to win a World Series for a long time.
No, and they're not going to win this game either in Game 3 because we talked about keeping it close. We get to the 10th inning, that's where everything busted open. Don't let Dom Smith get hot. I told you. It seems like whenever you start to doubt Dom Smith is when he starts to turn it right back on. He's been great since being called back up.
He has. 9 for 27 since being called back up from Syracuse. Talked about really using that time to clear his head and just kind of relax and like get back into baseball. Also, allegedly made a tactical adjustment. He opened up his stance more. He says that keeps him more able now to go swing through breaking balls and adjust to off-speed pitches. And if you remember, it was like the 5th inning. He got that nice double on the changeup.
Yeah, no, he's been hitting the ball well. That would have been a home run in a bunch of parks, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think definitely in Wrigley and probably a couple of them.
Oh, just one actually. It was just Wrigley.
Just Wrigley. All right, great. So what? That's one. But got a double. 6 of his 9 hits since coming back up from AAA have also been doubles, and he's just hitting the ball harder, more consistently.
I'm a doubles man.
Big doubles man.
Big doubles man. Love to see Dom Smith swinging the bat well, especially when I feel like a lot of the narrative coming into the series, during the series, that the DH spot hasn't necessarily been performing, and I think a lot of people have their eyes set on some possible DH candidates on the trade market that we could possibly talk about, or in the minors. So it's good to see that Dom Smith is maybe starting to heat up a little bit.
And there is an opportunity for Dom Smith. If Dom Smith gets hot right now, this will be his job again.
For sure. Oh, you have to play the hot hand.
You can earn this back.
And speaking of getting hot, James McCann, big hit Jim came into the game because Tomas Neo got pinch hit for in the 9th. And James McCann, huge single, which really extended the lead in this game.
No, not really. It literally extended the lead in this game. A 1-run lead to, I think, a 2 or 3 run lead.
Oh, well, especially with the guy on base. That's now, okay, we can breathe a little bit because the tying run's now at the plate.
1-run lead to a 2-run lead. Especially when you're the road team and that extra inning, you're not comfortable with one. Even with Edwin Diaz coming into a game, and even the inept Reds, I'm not going to say. I can say that now that we won the series, but I wouldn't have said that otherwise. You need 2 runs to actually give yourself a chance to win.
And they intentionally walked Guillorme to face big hit Jim. Biggest mistake they made.
Do you think Luis Guillorme has ever been intentionally walked in his life?
That's a fun fact, or fun question. That's not a fact.
Maybe high school?
Probably. I'm sure he was a stellar. I'm sure if he hits 300 in the majors, I'm sure he hit 600 in high school baseball. I mean,
I would love to ask him that. Go back to this time being intentionally walked Cincinnati. When was the last time you were intentionally walked in a baseball game?
So John just dropped us a stat twice last season.
But that was 8 hit their pitcher.
Yeah, with the pitcher. Didn't think about that with Luis Guillorme hitting 8.
That makes sense.
That was some oversight. But
also, this McCann hit. Need to shout out Dom Smith because he was chugging around third. He's not the fastest guy, never has been, but he was working hard to get there, and he had an awesome slide.
Phenomenal.
Evading the tag. The throw came in a little bit kind of behind the plate, and Dom went hardcore into the field, hook.
Also, shout out to Brandon Nimmo because he got behind the plate and he was pushing him to the side, telling him, you got to get over. good team baseball stuff you like to see that is not going to show up in the books, but shows up in the mind.
Should also double shout out Brandon Nimmo for his 3-run home run right after that.
Which that felt almost like a lock. I don't know why, but Brandon Nimmo in those situations, like think about the game in St. Louis.
Yeah.
He got the home run right after some crazy stuff has happened. Like Brandon Nimmo takes advantage of chaos.
Also, Brandon Nimmo's game was built for Cincinnati. The Great American Ballpark. He would win MVP if he was an everyday player here. He would be Winker.
He'd hit 30 homers a year, get on base 400%.
And it's funny because him and Winker, when they were coming up, Jesse Winker, everyone knows him very well, Mets fans now, they were compared a lot because they were guys who had big frames and looked like they could tap into power, but were never really able to do it. But they had great plate discipline.
You have so many Reds tidbits this episode.
I do. I got
a lot of information on the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, shout out my buddy Reed, one of my best friends from college. He was a big Reds fan.
Okay.
I went to school in Ohio. A lot of Reds fans around.
You did go to school in Ohio.
I went to many games at Great American Ballpark.
Okay, it makes more sense now.
It's really hot for the Reds for those years, but we needed this so badly.
So badly.
This whole episode would have been different. My whole mood would have been different. Tomorrow would have been different. The weekend would have been different if the Mets lose this series.
We were in the group text, talking, and I was curmudgeon-y. That's good SAT word, curmudgeon-y.
Great one.
We haven't said that in a while, an SAT word of the day, but I was ready to be disgruntled. I was ready to, like I said, go like this, get mad, and be all upset, but the Mets fought back like they have all year. John gave us another great stat here. It's the Mets' 10th win when trailing, entering the 9th inning since the start of last season, which is tied for the most in Major League Baseball with Tampa Bay Rays. Smart baseball team.
It's a crazy stat.
That's like, I know the Mets have made so many comebacks this year, but to see it like in physical form is nice.
There's one thing about that too that I think is undersold, and we've been saying it a lot though in this episode, and seeing the Rays being the other team with that amount of comeback wins, it's having a bullpen that is trustworthy.
Yeah.
And we've kind of been saying all year that I think this Mets bullpen is a little bit better than a lot of the fans give it credit for, because the bullpen blows a game. It's easy to be like, these guys suck, I hate them. I mean, even this single series, we saw Seth Lugo save a game and then blow a game.
Yeah.
Like these guys just go back and forth. It's his nature of bullpens. But the fact that the Mets bullpen gives them a chance to win more often than not, significantly more often than not, that's how you stay in position and make these comebacks. If the Mets were not losing this game by 1, they probably don't come back and win it.
No.
Like, that's how you do it. You don't let the other team get the insurance run, and you make a play. And that's how you win games like this.
Yep. Mets end up winning the series on that one. I know it's a little weird we start with game 3, but the boys were buzzing, like we said, after seeing that win. Me and James were outside watching the game. We were high-fiving, screaming, yelling. It was like a very cathartic Mets win. Needed that because it could have been at least a little more understandable for people calling for doomsday, even though it would still be crazy.
Yeah, I had a lot of people in my Twitter mentions freaking out, saying it was terrible, awful, team can't hit. And I went back and I answered most of them after, be like, 8 runs, 16 hits. It's one of the better offensive teams in baseball.
I know,
what are you
right?
talking about, guys?
Like,
what game were you watching?
We are in such a fortunate position where we can complain about playing well.
Yeah.
It's like one of the few times in my life I've ever been able to do that.
It's a real first world problem the Mets have right now.
Oh, for sure. Big first world problem.
Almost lost series to the Reds and Rangers, but didn't.
They won
Did not.
4-2 in that time.
There you go.
We'll take it. I would love them in 6-0.
No, we only won, 75% of our games over 8 games against 2 not so good teams. But actually, 2 teams who have both been about 500 since the second week of April. Crazy enough.
There you go.
The Reds were 3-22, and they're 25-31 since.
Okay.
That's not a pushover. That's not a good team by any means.
No.
But that's not a team that is going to lose every game, because they haven't.
And now to kind of backtrack a little bit, let's talk about Game 1, 4th of July, of course, a great holiday.
Feels like a month ago.
Feels like so long ago. This was only a 3-game series, but it felt like a 4. I don't know how it's possible, but we started off this game interesting as well. Hunter Green on the mound.
Yeah.
Dude throws absolute gas, and we saw it from the start.
Yeah, we had the privilege as Mets fans of seeing 3 pretty interesting rookie pitchers in this game. 3 of the better rookie pitchers in all of baseball. Hunter Green is nuts. He started out this game like not throwing as hard as we've gotten used to seeing Hunter Green so far this year and in his young career. He was only sitting 95 to 97. By the 5th, 6th inning, he was working back up into his normal 100. Slider's ridiculous pitch, but he's also like the Hunter Green experience. You get 2 of the first 7 Mets batters of this game. It's kind of all over the place. The fastball's kind of straight, even though it's 100. And the Mets were able to get the bat on the ball consistently here.
Which was nice when Nimmo hit another Cincinnati home run. And
they were like in the exact same spot.
Oh, yeah, that's his sweet spot right there. That's like, in Citi Field, that's right where the cutout begins in right field.
Fly ball.
But in Cincinnati, it's a home run every time. And a nice 3-run blast early in the game. Give us a nice little cushion, too, which we always like.
Yeah, but then Brandon Drury, former Met legend, possibly future Met, got us right back with a 3-run home run of his own.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's a hitter, and his swing plays very well in Cincinnati. Everyone's swing plays well in Cincinnati, I guess.
I guess. I mean, some of the Mets swings did not play that well in Cincinnati this year.
Lindor kept swinging the bat. Well, I shouldn't say kept swinging the bat because this is now game 1, but Lindor was swinging the bat better in this game. Solo shot. His swing looked good. The bat looked quick.
Lindor, the rough games 2 and 3 of this series. Very, very rough. Also, though, still has one of the 20 highest F4s in all of baseball and top 10 in the National League. So everyone just keep that in your back pocket. Even though these 2 games were bad, overall play still good.
Dom continued the scoring with a nice, like we mentioned,
little time machine continued.
Yeah, little time machine.
This is when Dom was beginning to get hot. Yeah. We just saw the culmination of it.
And he was hot. And then Escobar. We got a run from Escobar as well. So the Mets really just were better than the Reds in this game.
You hit Hunter Green. He throws it, even though the fastball's 100 miles an hour, it's a hittable pitch. And I think this gave us this was 6 runs or 7 runs at this time, something like that. And that was plenty for Taijuan Walker, who's just ridiculously solid once again. He went 6 innings on Monday night, 9 strikeouts, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, all in that one Brandon Drury home run, just 1 walk. Interestingly enough, this is one of Taijuan Walker's least whiff starts in a long time. Fewest whiffs he's had in a start in a little while, only at 8. 6 of them were on the slider, 2 fastball, and none on the split change, which was weird. First time in a while that pitch wasn't very effective, and it kind of seemed like he didn't have a feel for it.
Which is possible.
Yeah, he only threw it 18% of the time on Monday, which is the least often he's thrown the split change in any start since his first real start of the year on April 30th.
Well, you told me Cincinnati is a very humid city, correct? Does that have anything to do with a split grip, maybe? I don't know.
Why would they make it less, though?
I don't know,
feel like
if it's humid,
maybe it's better.
Maybe it's moist and it slips. I don't know.
I guess possibly, but a lot of times the moisture helps a grip on a baseball.
Okay, I can see that.
I don't know that much about pitching.
And I feel like I also saw a cutter in this game just from spin on a slow-mo. Again, it's slow motion.
You were right.
So.
He threw 6.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, and that was a pitch he was throwing a decent amount earlier in the year. He hasn't thrown it for about a month. Now the last 2 starts, he's thrown 10 total.
Yep, we mentioned Holderman coming in game 3, came in game 1. Nice clean inning, which is good because that was his first appearance back from the IL, right?
Yes.
And he's a very solid reliever for us. Talk about ABC team bullpen. He's right in the middle.
He's be a guy who will probably stick in this bullpen for a little while.
And then Lugo closed it out with a save.
Yeah, 14 pitches, only 1 sinker. The rest were fastballs and curveballs.
Which that's what
actually, there were a couple sliders mixed in too. But the slider's still not a bad pitch.
Yeah, we like the fastball curveball. That's what we like to see.
Also, a couple of more tidbits about Taijuan Walker. 36 strikeouts over his last 5 starts. Tied for his second most over any 5-start span his major league career. 36 strikeouts since June 12th. 4th most in the NL over that span. He was running like a 25% strikeout rate since Scherzer went down. He was incredibly helpful for us during that time. An ERA around the low 3s. I tweeted out the other day about how good Peterson and Taijuan were in the 40 games that Scherzer didn't play. Also, he was just an absolute marksman with his fastball in this game. He only threw 6 to lefties. I don't really know how many lefties the Reds even had in the lineup. Maybe 2?
I don't remember now, honestly.
Yeah, it's been a long time. This is a long game. But he was just so dialed in that low and outside corner to righties. If you look at his pitch chart from the game, it was just filled it up right there. But great game from the Mets. Great pitching from Taijuan. Everything you needed.
Yep, no, it was really good. And it was the 4th of July. As good as that Mets game was, that might not have been the star of the show that day.
It wasn't even close.
I'm sure you guys are familiar with a man named Joseph Chestnut, but he is just a freak. And I know this doesn't really have to do with Mets baseball, but we have to appreciate the greatness that is Joey Chestnut. 4th of July and Joey Chestnut are literally synonymous.
It's just we're living in a time where there's such a dominant person at doing something on earth, whether you think it's an athlete or a sport. We can draw the line there. We don't know exactly where that falls, but Joey Chestnut every single year on the 4th of July, like clockwork, is going to show up at Coney Island at 12 noon, and he's going to dominate all of the best competitive eaters on earth.
I just think it's so funny because the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, basically for the time that we've been alive, has been 2 guys. It's been Kobayashi and it's been Joey Chestnut. And Joey Chestnut has stuck through. He's clearly the GOAT. But I also love seeing them prepare and get ready for this. You see him come off the bus and he had a broken foot, so he's hobbling.
This is Super Bowl competitive eating.
Yeah, I know. There's swarms of people around and people are going crazy to watch a man just devour hot dogs, which is also one of the grossest things you can watch someone do.
Absolutely. Chestnut put down 63 dogs in 10 minutes. Second place only had 47 and a half. And he did this, like Mark said, with a broken foot. And a foot that he broke a while ago didn't actually heal properly. Some tendon issue, they said on ESPN. And he didn't even train. He put down 63 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
It's his flu game.
It was his flu game. It was his foot game.
Foot game.
The ESPN announcers also had a lot of fun with this. Did you hear some of the commentary they were saying during this?
No, I kind of had it on the background.
Yeah, they were saying there's no one as good as Chestnut, maybe Mickelson and Blackjack.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
No, they were nuts. They were actually having a lot of fun with it. It seems like it was a point of them this year. They knew there were going to be a lot of eyes, they were going to try and have some fun. And this is Joey Chestnut's 15 win of the hot dog eating contest. 15 out of 16, 7 in a row. The only one he lost was in 2015 to Matt Stoney, who I actually like Matt Stoney's YouTube channel.
He's a YouTuber like me, so I gotta respect the game.
Yeah. And he's good, decent content. I love watching these people eat crazy stuff. He did like a Pop Rocks one that was nuts.
Yeah.
He did a Cocoa Puffs one that was crazy.
Well, like
Oreos.
I believe they're called like mukbangs. I believe.
Yeah.
Are big on the social medias, whether it's TikTok or YouTube. And this guy will just like pound like.
He's also been big recently. He'll pull up to like a restaurant, like a fast food place, and he'll order one of everything on the menu.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he'll just pull up with everything from Popeyes and eat it in like 10 minutes.
But that year, 2015, when Stoney beat Chestnut 62-60, allegedly the story goes that Chestnut's fiance broke it off with him not that long before the competition. He was like a broken man. He lost the love of his life.
Listen, he's human.
And he only lost by 2 dogs.
Imagine.
It took an immaculate performance from Stoney to win. That's almost more impressive than all the Chestnuts.
Eating 60 hot dogs, like that's like a year's worth of hot dogs for me, and I eat a lot of hot dogs. I pounded 6 at the barbecue on 4th of July.
I had 3. That's significantly more hot dogs than most people eat in their entire lives. Almost in that's more hot dogs than every person not in this country will eat in their entire lives.
Yeah, I hope my mom's not listening to this one. She'd be very disappointed to hear that I ate 6 hot dogs on the 4th of July. She's very anti-hot dog for Mark Luino.
I want to run through some of other Joey Chestnut's other eating records and triumphs over the years, because it's kind of insane what this guy can do. And these numbers are like staggering to the average person. His record for hot dogs is 76 in 10 minutes, which is
just a shockingly high amount.
It's delusional. I'm also going to run through some of the crazy ones, because when you're a competitive eater, you eat everything all through the year, like weekend-wise. You're going out, you're winning these tournaments. Joey Chestnut has eaten 24 pounds and 8 ounces of red beans and rice in 8 minutes. That's a heavy meal.
That's too much.
28 pounds of poutine in 10 minutes. Poutine, thick, fries, gravy.
Cheese.
18 pounds and 9 ounces of shrimp cocktail in 8 minutes. 30 euros in 10 minutes. 30.
That's a lot.
Pita, ziki. It's ridiculous. 165 pierogies in 8 minutes. How the hell? And the last one, this is a crazy one. Actually, I kind of like all 3 of these. I'm just going to rip them off. 25 Katz pastrami sandwiches. 13 pounds of deep fried asparagus.
It's too much.
And this is the grossest one by far. 141 hard-boiled eggs in 8 minutes.
I don't even want to hear it.
141. That's almost 12 full dozens.
When I first heard it, I had a visceral reaction. I gagged. I was
12 dozen hard-boiled eggs.
That is a disgusting amount of hard-boiled eggs to eat.
Crazy.
The dude is simply the GOAT of eating. He is the most dominant eater that we have ever seen. And this kind of is a nice little segue. Look at that. Pro podcaster here. Good segue into our big 3 of dominance. This just doesn't have to be about sports.
Brief the big 3.
Yeah, the big 3. So me, James, and our producer, John, we come up with one big thing that we're going to choose each under a grand category. So the theme today is going to be dominance.
Because of how dominant Joey Chestnut is in the hot dog eating contest. So 15 out of 16.
Doesn't have to be an athlete.
Also 18 hot dog average winning margin for Chestnut.
There you go. Drop another stat for us.
18 dogs.
But yeah, it doesn't have to be anything specific. It doesn't have to be an athlete. It doesn't have to be, whatever you consider dominant is what we're going with here. And I'm going to get it started because for me, when I think of dominance, and you could say Michael Jordan, you could say some of the great athletes of all time, but how about the Beatles? The Beatles are the kings of music. 20 number 1 hits all time, which is the most ever.
It's kind of sick.
They're the best-selling artists of all time, not just in the United States, but in the entire world. Apparently over 800 million units sold worldwide of their music, which is just a shocking amount. 183 million in the United States, which is 30 more than number 2 on that list, which is Garth Brooks. That's about as many total units as the Dave Matthews Band or Britney Spears have sold in their career, which is like, that's the difference between number 1 and 2. They spent 1,278 weeks at the top of the charts, which is 8,946 days, or roughly 24 and a half years.
That doesn't make sense.
That's it. The numbers are crazy. They just continue to go. And that's just for like top of the charts. Remember, they could have a number 2, a number 3, a number 4. They were unbelievable. When they went on the Ed Sullivan Show, which was like the hot talk show of the time in 1964, 73 million people watched it, which is still to this day one of the most viewed shows of all time in television history. Rolling Stone, not Rolling Stones, the band, the publication declared them the best artist of all time. In 2019, they made $67 million on royalties. And just for some more crazy numbers, Paul McCartney's worth $1.2 billion. John Lennon, who's dead's worth $800 million.
He's a billionaire?
Yeah, he's worth that much. I don't know if he's actually got that much. Ringo and George are worth $400 million each. And, I mean, I feel like the best way to sum this up is one of their most famous concerts was at Shea Stadium. It was an absolute... I wish I was there. I wish I could have experienced it.
I think it was one of the first they did in America.
It was unbelievable. And they literally have a chunk of Central Park named after one of their songs, Strawberry Fields.
Really?
For guys who are from the United Kingdom.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. Literally named after one of their songs. I love the Beatles, one of my favorite music artists of all time. My dad basically had me grow up with them in the background. The Beatles, for me, are dominance. The Beatles are the greatest of all time. When you think of music, you think of the Beatles. So that is my pick for the big three. James, what's yours?
My pick, very different direction. I'm going with Jeopardy superstar James Holzhauer.
Same name.
Yeah. Yeah, another James.
Big James Day. James McCann. Big
James
hit.
McCann, yeah. Jimmy Big Hits. Big Hit Jim.
Big Hit Jim.
Big Hit Jim, new nickname. But James Holzhauer revolutionized the game of Jeopardy in like basically a 1 month span a few years ago. He completely turned it upside down. Completely. 32-game win streak, which is only the fourth longest win streak of all time and doesn't even hold a stone to Ken Jennings' 70-something game win streak. But Holzhauer made so much money on Jeopardy. He changed the way the game was played afterwards. He holds the 12 highest earning single games of Jeopardy ever and 16 out of the top 17. His average winning game of Jeopardy was $77,000. There was only one other person whose max win was better than that.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That's his average. And Holzhauer, as his record, put down over $130,000 in a single episode.
Oh my God.
Yes. Took home over $3 million over his stretch there. 97% correct question rate. I think it was 71 out of 75 daily doubles hit. The guy, and he would like max out his daily double bets. Average bet in a daily double was $9,000. The guy was a living legend. He took numbers and math into Jeopardy somehow for the first time ever. It's crazy that no one was like, I'm going to push it all in the middle and risk it all in every single game and just be right all the time.
Isn't Holzhauer a big baseball guy too?
Freak baseball guy.
Yeah.
He said that was one of his like first introductions to like data and stats. Like I think he said he got Excel when he was a kid and just filled it with every baseball stat in the world.
Yeah, no.
And I think he was accosted to like work. No, I think cost is the wrong word there. I think he was reached out to work for some front offices after this incredible run, and the guy's like a freak with data.
Smart guy.
Yeah, and I think he wanted too much freedom. He's also like a professional gambler.
Yeah.
So I think he wanted to try and maintain that. And I don't think any professional baseball team would allow that to happen.
No, I don't think so.
And crazily, Holzhauer said that he prepared for this run of Jeopardy by going to, may rest in peace, his local Barnes & Noble and just reading every single book in the children's section.
Oh my God.
Getting a tiny little bit of data on every single thing that ever existed. So he had a little bit to go through for everything. And just, again, that stat, 12 highest earning games ever, and his average winning game of $77,000 per game, higher than every other single game ever besides for one. It was only $83,000.
Yeah, James Holzhauer's
Holzhauer.
He's a beast.
Dominant.
He's on a couple different shows now with all the other Jeopardy guys
really?
too. Yeah, where
Nice.
it's like the Beast or whatever. You got to be smart. These guys are smart.
I used to watch so much Jeopardy in high school.
Like you said, he literally broke the game.
Literally. Rest in peace, Alex Trebek, the legend.
Yep, the legend. James Holzhauer, the Beatles, and that leads us to our third and final piece of the big three. Producer John. John, what do you got for us?
I mean, after what I just heard from the two of you, I'm almost embarrassed by what I have. I was going with a much more simplistic answer to the question. I don't even know how I came up with this one, but how many bobblehead doll giveaways did you guys attend over the years at Shea Stadium, Citi Field?
A lot.
A few.
The Andy Chavez over the wall is the best.
Many good bobbleheads given away over the years. And I was thinking, and I don't know, I must have at least 20. And I swear, they are all sponsored by Gold's Horseradish. Nothing dominated bobblehead day at Shea Stadium the way that Gold's Horseradish dominated bobblehead day. And then I'll take it one step further. And I'm not going by your fancy numbers, with all your data. There's a lot of data here on the show, a lot of data. But the way that the Gold's Horseradish dominates the sinuses, I mean, you just think all you need is a drop. That's it. I've never experienced domination like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my answer. Haters can say what they want about it, but I got Gold's Horseradish, number one, most dominant in its arena. That's it.
Okay.
This would be a hilarious, weird, funny mind game if we just put these three things on the internet. Like, what do Gold's Horseradish, the Beadle, and James Holzhauer have in common?
I can't imagine the Venn diagram has a lot of overlap.
No, almost none. Besides dominance, right in the middle.
Dominance is right in the middle, and that's the big three. First time we're doing it. The big three.
First official time.
First time that you guys have
tried
seen
once.
that we did the big three. We're now all on the same page. You guys over on social media, wherever you can get in contact with us, let us know who had the most dominant of the big three. Either me, James, or producer John. Let us know. That's the big three. Let's move on to game number 2 here to wrap up this series. Game 2 stunk.
Yeah, it was
Game
terrible.
2 wasn't a poop fest. It was just simply a game that I wish never happened, and I don't really want to think about much.
It was just, we have to lead by talking about the fact that Max Scherzer did return after his 41-game absence and threw a gem. But this was such a classic, quintessential Mets loss, like from the good old days. Like this felt like one of those terrible 2010, 2013, the 2017 DeGrom run. Like
You know
this
what that
felt
was?
like what?
That was Max Scherzer's initiation into being
It kind
a
of
Met.
was, yeah. Basically, now you're here, you're official, and this that also really had the emotional tide moving in a bad way ahead of what ended up being an incredibly dramatic and great win from Wednesday. But the way that this game played out with Max Scherzer's gem and the Mets not scoring a run and losing 1-0 in the 9th inning, it's just, oh my God, painful. But we got to talk about Max Scherzer first before we talk about the pain, because this ended up being a positive episode against all odds.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about good things. Not going
Keep
to
it
talk
positive.
about bad things.
Only talk
Absolutely.
about Max this game.
Max Scherzer started this game against Jonathan India, K'd him up off the bat, got through the next 2 batters in only a few pitches, 9-pitch first inning with a big strikeout to lead it off, and you were just like, he's back.
He's so back. Like watching him pitch was wonderful. It was a pleasant thing to partake in.
It's been so long. It was May when he went down, May 18th. We're past the 4th of July. We missed a big part of the meat of the summer. Max Scherzer here.
Missed like 40 games and 41, and it was great to have him back right from the start. Like you said, he was just cooking from the beginning.
Literally, only 1 red reached third base in this game, and that was in the 2nd inning where Scherzer hit someone, I think, to lead off the inning, or maybe with 1 out, something like that.
Dude, he had 11 Ks in 6 innings. I don't care about the hit by pitch.
He retired. I'm just saying that there was only 1 guy to reach third base, and it was on some BS. He retired the last 8 reds he faced before leaving the game after 6. Wound up with those 6 innings, 11 strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs, just 2 hard hit balls, 80 pitches. I think it was actually 79 in the dot, but just ridiculous. He had 4 strikeouts with his 4-seam fastball, 4 with his slider, 2 with his cutter, 1 with his changeup, and also he hit 97.1 miles an hour on a fastball to get Matt Reynolds looking, and that was tied for his fastest pitch of the season.
Love that. Love to see that from a guy coming back from injury. Scherzer made sure that when he was coming back, he would be ready. As he said, I will not have a setback. I will not have a setback. And it really did look like Max Scherzer came back and was fully healthy and ready to just pick up where he left off.
Absolutely. Now, John's telling us he has a Max Scherzer trivia question for us that I'm very excited to hear.
Yeah, I'm excited. John's got all the stats and trivia for us, and he stumped us last time. So I'm interested to see if we can do a little bit better on this one.
All right. So Max Scherzer, 11 strikeouts, no walks, does so at the age of 37 years, 343 days old. Only 10 different pitchers have done so, 11 strikeouts or more, no walks in a start, at an older age than Max's 37 years, 343 days. I'm going to give you 2 of them because I'm just going to say we're not guessing them.
Okay, who are they?
So Dazzy Vance.
No, probably not.
Dazzy Vance guys, and maybe I'm.
No, I know Dazzy Vance, but no way would have guessed him.
No shot.
The other one is Harvey Haddix.
Yeah, that was a tough one too.
Okay, I got
alliteration.
I got
So
one.
there are now 8 more.
Okay,
I got one.
I'm gonna say Maddox. Greg Maddox.
No.
Wow.
Nolan Ryan.
Yes.
Oh, let's go. Randy Johnson.
Yes.
Okay.
Schilling.
No.
Smoltz.
No.
Wow. You guess another one.
Pedro Martinez.
Nope.
Oh, I thought Pedro would have been on there for sure. Oh, Roger Clemens.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's 3.
That's 3. There's a few more sprinkled in there. We can't spend too much time thinking.
Yeah.
But,
Negro.
ooh.
Nope.
Ooh, the knuckleball is a little tough. That's what probably gets you.
I'm just looking for an old guy.
Oh, man, an old good pitcher. I'm going to throw out one more name.
Verlander.
Oh,
No.
wow. Verlander was a good guess, but he's not that old, I don't think.
I guess not.
Yeah, not that old. My last guess is going to be.
I can't walk out of here with none.
No, you have to get one actually.
No.
Think real quick.
I'm thinking. You get one. I'll keep thinking.
What about Tom Seaver?
I'll give you guys a clue. 2 of them are still going right now.
Is Tom Seaver one?
No.
It's not still going.
Okay, I know. I understand he's not still pitching.
He's a statue in front of the
Yeah,
ballpark.
I'm aware.
Okay.
Still going. Man, that involves a really old pitcher. That they're still going. That means they did it.
You said the age is 37?
Older than 37 years, 343 days.
Oh, that's crazy.
Who's the oldest pitcher in the game right now?
Who's the oldest pitcher in the game right now?
Pitched for the Mets last year.
Pitched for the Mets last year.
That's a bad
Oh,
one.
Rich Hill.
Correct.
Nice.
go.
Good one.
You still don't have one.
I know. I don't think I'm going to get one. I'm out.
All right.
All right.
So I give you guys the other 3.
Yeah, what are they?
All right. Cy Young,
Okay.
Jamie Moyer.
Oh, we should just, that was low hanging fruit.
It was like he's 70
The
when
other
he was
one
playing.
still going, Charlie Morton.
oh, that's such a lock.
Charlie.
Oh, that's a bad performance by me. That was terrible.
Hopefully a little redemption next week.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
better
yeah.
than our first attempt.
That was got
better.
some better
Well,
trivia.
at least I was better.
Yeah,
You
I
didn't
was,
get
I was
one.
worse. I was
Yeah,
worse. I was significantly worse.
You had a rough one. You know what? You were very busy getting your stats for Max Scherzer and Joey Chestnut and James Holzhauser for
Exactly,
this episode.
yeah.
You couldn't be bothered with 37-year-old pitchers.
And working. I gotta go in tomorrow. It's 11:20.
Yeah, you got a real job.
Got
but,
bike home.
I mean, we're not talking about the rest of this game two. Game two was
No,
they stunk.
I do want to say Lodolo's good. He's a good pitcher. It wasn't like getting shut out's terrible, but he is good. He actually matched Max with 15 whiffs, 8 strikeouts at 4 2/3 with only 1 hard hit ball. It was a bad game. It was a bad game. We had chances. It wasn't good. Lugo was not good in back-to-back days. It wasn't good. That's it. But we won the series.
Won the series, so we don't care about game two anymore.
And some other crazy stat here, because going game 1, game 2, game 3, John got this one for us. If you guys have been watching the Mets this year, you could probably tell that they have a bit of a pattern.
Just a little slight pattern.
It feels like you win game 1, you lose game 2, you win game 3. The Mets record in game 1s of series this year is 20-6.
Game two,
10-16, and in game 3, 17-7.
so yeah, if you had that suspicion,
Yeah.
you would have hit the nail on the head. You would have been 100% correct. I don't know why. I don't see a reasoning behind this, but the Mets play well at the start and the end of the series, and the middle is just kind of a coin flip almost,
Basically.
which is like kind of a really lazy way to think about it. But the Mets win series, and really at the end of the day, like we said at the beginning of the year, if you win 2 of 3 every single time, you're going to be a very successful team.
The Mets are testing that because they've, 3 sweeps?
Yeah,
And like, are you kidding me?
They just we're a little allergic to sweeping right now, but hey, it's all right. The Mets are playing well. The Mets are still winning games, and I think that's a perfect way for us to kind of branch out now into our series preview, going up against the Miami Marlins for a 4-game series. A lot of stuff going on at the ballpark this weekend, specifically Keith Hernandez's retiring jersey number 17 in the rafters. Should be a fun day out at the ballpark on Saturday.
Long overdue.
Yeah, long overdue. We'll be there for sure. Hopefully you guys will be too. If you do, say what's up. We want to meet you guys.
Absolutely. I think we'll be there Friday, too.
Yeah, John, we have a new segment I believe that we wanted to try out as well. We got a lot of new segments this time. We're calling it Estimate. Me and James, every single episode, are going to take basically blind shots in the dark.
Yeah, it's some question that John's going to give us, and we're going to tally these up at the end of the season. And one of us going to have to do something dumb. We haven't decided what it is yet. We'd love your guys' input. It's either going to be wear a suit or a tuxedo at a Mets game, or it's going to be put on the full kit, cleats, baseball pants, socks, tuck it in for a game, or some kind of eating contest. But Mark and I both have a lot of dietary restrictions, so I don't know if we're going to do that. Or it could be like some kind of physical endurance competition. Run a mile in the ballpark, run the stairs 100 times, something crazy like that.
Which would be easy for James. For me,
It would be relatively easier for me. For Mark, it would be good content.
yeah, for the YouTuber who stays inside by choice, might not be a quick mile. I don't know the last time I've ran a mile.
I don't know the last time you ran in general, besides the first base in softball.
Yeah, that's probably the last time I ran in general. Was playing baseball, and that's not
Softball.
happening too often. I played the baseball game against
You
the
did.
Sock
You played
Buckets.
those 3 baseball games
Yeah.
a month ago.
I almost got a hit. All right, so John, how long Keith's speech? I believe that's what we're going to go with.
That's what we're going to go with. Saturday afternoon, the big day. Retiring Keith Hernandez is number 17, as you guys mentioned. You guys tell me, how long will the speech be? Mark?
I'm going to say 2.5 minutes.
That's crazy. So are we doing Price is Right rules?
We are doing Price is Right rules.
Okay. You said 2.5?
2.5.
2 minutes and 31 seconds is my guess.
Wow. Scumbag move.
So we got to win. We're here to win.
All right, well, I'll make sure the next one that you pick first so that I can
100%.
scumbag you back.
Exactly. This is just going to become a back and forth then.
Listen, we'll have a tally, we'll have a leaderboard so that we
Yeah.
know by the end of the year who is the winner and who is the loser, and
And
who
then
will be doing.
we'll work on the punishment with help from you guys too. But if we go a few weeks here and it ends up just being alternating because whoever just schemes the other person better, we'll create some bylaws maybe about how the guesses are going to work.
Well, we'll see how fair play this game ends up being played.
Everyone keep an eye on Keith Hernandez's speech because now we basically just create an over-under.
Basically.
If it's under 2 minutes and 30 seconds, Mark wins, which that would be kind of shocking. If it's over 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'm going to win.
Yeah, you really did get a huge advantage there by me taking the the
bad
first
guess.
guess. It's all right. I won on the big three today, so I don't have to worry about that. Now let's go ahead and preview the series. What are our pitching matchups looking like?
Pitching matchups, the Marlins series. Thursday, we have Trevor Williams versus Daniel Castano. That's kind of just like look each other in the eye. Hope you do it.
We gotta hit Daniel Castano this time. We have to.
Marlins are also coming into the series pretty hot. Their winners are 6 of the last 7, 6 in a row until Shohei Ohtani shut them down on Wednesday, who's one of the best pitchers in baseball. But they're a team that is playing good ball. Last time we got them, it felt good, but they just were missing like 2 or 3 regulars in their lineup.
Yeah, Joey Wendell and Brian Anderson are back, and those are very good ball players.
And we also didn't see Jesus Aguilar.
Yeah, so there will
Wendell has an 800 OPS this year.
He's a good ball player.
Very good ball player.
But came from the Rays. Of course he's smart.
Yep. And then Friday, Chris Bassett versus Pablo Lopez, who Pablo Lopez just for some reason can't pitch against the Mets, so pitch well against everybody else. Hopefully we get that going again. Also, Chris Bassett return. Kind of a long layoff. We hope there's not much rust there. Saturday, Keith Day, Carlos Carrasco versus Braxton Garrett. We saw how well we got a hold of Braxton Garrett last time, even though it wasn't really as well as it could have been. You just see that there was a hittable ball.
Yep.
That's the way to describe it.
Cookie coming off of a decent start, so.
Yep. And then Sunday, it's going to be a fun one, guys. Taijuan Walker versus Sandy Alcantara.
Taijuan got the better of him the first time that they matched up against each other. Right? Second time.
This is going to be our third time facing Sandy this year, that's annoying.
But was Taijuan for all 3 of those games? I think
no,
you just
one of them. First one was Bassett, second was Taijuan.
That's why I said he got the better of him the first time. Hopefully he gets the better of him again in this game 4, which will be Sunday. These 4-game series are so long.
I know, especially Thursday to Sunday.
I'm so tired of playing the Marlins. I said it when we played them the last time. They just, like John Birdie, like we're going to see him be annoying again.
We went from having not played the Marlins this year to now this is going to be 12 games in a month.
Yeah, just like we played the Phillies for like 15 games in the first month.
And we still haven't played the Braves.
Yeah, so just no Atlanta Braves games, and I know that's the team that everyone has circled because they are, getting closer, but the Mets are still 20 games above 500. So.
And you got to be careful for the trap series here because we got the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta on Monday.
And Max Scherzer will be pitching Monday. He got pushed back technically because Bassett's now in the rotation. There was a way where Scherzer could have pitched Sunday against Sandy Alcantara, and we could have had a real ace-off.
Yeah, but I'd still rather have the ace-off on Monday of Max Scherzer versus Max Fried.
Definitely.
Max-off.
Yeah, Max-off, yeah.
Max-off, that's pretty cool.
Okay, hopefully Scherzer gets the win for us there.
And then also, before we leave you guys, we need to briefly talk about Jacob deGrom because he made his first rehab start on Sunday just after we recorded our last episode. He just threw a bunch of pitches 100 miles an hour. He struck out, I think, 5 of the 6 batters he faced.
5 of the 6 he faced, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. What are you going to do?
Dominant. He was facing 18, 19-year-old kids.
Everyone just stay calm.
Everyone stay calm. He also will have another rehab assignment on Friday. So
Thursday or Friday?
Friday.
Okay.
So a few days after you guys, or a day after you guys will be listening to this, deGrom will also be pitching again, so keep an eye out for the St. Lucie Mets because they're going to be posting all their stuff. This is a great time to be a St. Lucie Mets social media rep.
Absolutely. Just missed the Palm Beach Cardinals. I think we said that last time, but they're every single social media rep who's working these low-A baseball games, grinding every single day for no engagements. This is your shot. This is the Super Bowl. Jacob deGrom.
Jacob deGrom on the mound is your guy's Super Bowl. I think that's a perfect way for us to wrap up this episode here, finishing up this Red Series, going into the Marlins one. Keith Hernandez retirement day coming up. If you guys are not yet following us on all our social media, make sure you do @MetsUp. Like we said, the YouTube video will be on the Mets channel, the New York Mets YouTube channel, so go over there to watch that. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Odyssey, drop us a rating, drop us a review, share it with your friends, follow us, subscribe, whatever you do. It really does help us out. Follow James on Twitter @JamesSciano. Follow me @GiraffeNeckMark. And that's where we'll wrap it up, guys. We'll see you after the Marlins series for episode 108. Peace out.
I'm Keith Hernandez.
Get up, get up, get up.